It's Friday, man. We've been waiting for Friday all week long, and it is here. Yeah. Stephen Phillips coming to you with Pat Malone. How are you, Pat?
I'm good, Stephen. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I heard y'all talking about giving judges a raise.
You got a twitchy finger this morning, huh?
I'm fast as lightning, brother. Fast as
Yeah,
lightning. This
yeah.
federal judge, the federal judge for that that is trying to get rid of Trump and doing all what is it he's doing the wanting to bring back the MS-13. They say that he makes an average of $247,000 a year salary. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think we weren't talking about federal judges.
And then he lives in a $2.4 million house.
Yeah, like I said, our discussion with Stan Gunter, who's a state representative, was talking about state judges.
And his daughter, where is it right here? Works for NGOs that gives illegal aliens criminal legal advice.
And the conclusion you draw from that is what?
Well, if we can get rid of all these corrupt judges, then maybe we can give the honest judges.
Wait a minute.
There you
because
go.
he gets $260,000 payment and lives in a $2 million house, and his daughter works for some organization, he's corrupt. Is that
Yep.
Is that what you just
nailed it?
Is that what you got to?
So what do they make now, Pat? What do the state judges make now?
That is the problem, Packy. Between some state judges at the same level make about $80,000, and some of them make $120,000.
Just for the record, all you judges out there that are listening to this show, I am 100% supportive of you guys getting raises, and I just, anything I can do to help you,
You're such a suck up.
All you judges, I support you.
Yeah, that's just because you got that garden in your basement you're worried about.
Shut up.
I'll tell you where I'm at on this. It's kind of like religion. I mean, everything's politics and religion. I'd rather go to church with a poor, honest preacher than I had a rich, dishonest one. I'm the same way with politicians and justice. I'd rather be in front of a poor, honest judge than I had
my question
is honest one.
Dishonesty is a direct associated with being rich. The only people who are dishonest are rich, and the only people who are honest are poor. Is that what you're saying?
Nope, that ain't what I'm saying.
Well, it sure sounded like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're appointed and you give this big salary like $247,000, and then you get this non-government operation that gives your daughter a big fancy job, making a bunch of money, trying to help illegal aliens, and you live in a $2.5 million home. Yeah, I don't think I'd want to go in front of him if he knows that I'm a Trump supporter. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah, I know you don't.
I have no idea what you just said. And neither does the audience, except for the posters.
It said, yeah, about like when Stan Gunter read that off about the religion thing. Y'all all act like oh yeah, I know what you're talking. Y'all had no clue. You had no clue what he's talking about.
Sure, what it sounded like to me was Section 1 said this and Section 2 said the opposite.
Yeah, y'all had no idea. You should have asked him, what the heck does that mean? What does that mean?
That's the problem with having lawyers as legislators.
Yeah. Okay. Packy's going to explain this. Packy, what did that mean?
Blah, 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 blah.
I have no idea. Y'all didn't either. But y'all stuck to your guns and acted like you did.
What was the Peanuts thing? Wah, 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 wah.
Oh, wow. He used big words. Let's act like we know what he said.
Sum it up for us. What is that bill, Pat, really?
I don't know. Honest to God. I do not know what that means. I can see where people who are concerned about religious freedom have a concern about
no, just the bill in general. What is the purpose? It's the Stan's bill, right? Isn't he kind of sponsoring it or one of the
No.
Okay, my bad.
He's not. It's before his committee. He's the chair of the Judicial Committee. So the bill has to pass out of judicial to go to the floor for a vote.
I don't know. I guess
that was the point he was making.
I'm kind of lopsided a little bit. We found it on God, the Creator, I think, back in the days of when we all got started. I think we ought to stick with that. So, it's just my opinion. So now, as he thought,
what does that mean?
That means be a Christian or get out.
There's the reason we left England, right?
Yeah.
Because it was being Anglican or get left out.
Yeah. Let's go back to days of old. Days of old. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. You know what? Anyway, I ain't gonna go there. I'll get in trouble for sure if I say what's really on my mind. So let me ask something. Y'all talking about all this multi-commissioner stuff. Is Stan gonna ask him that? Is he supporting that? Is he wanting the multi-commissioners?
I don't think he's supporting it. I don't think he's in favor of it or against it.
Well, you should have asked him. I sent you a text.
Does he need
you
to do
sent me a
referendum?
text. I'm not going to ask him that because I already knew the answer.
But that's not a required thing for him to do that referendum. That's more of just let's get a feel for where the people are in his district and pledge to vote one way or another if it comes before him, right? Is that
that's absolutely right.
But
yes.
So he doesn't really need to do that. He's just doing it.
Why is he doing it?
Because there's a bunch of people in Union County.
I got you.
Who believe that a multi-person commission would be better than a sole commissioner.
Well, we can look at that at different places that's got multi-commissioners, and we know that's not true.
Well, that's the reason Stan wants to have Senator Gooch with him, because Senator Gooch was in Lumpkin County when they made the switch from sole commissioner to multi-person commission. And he can tell all the horror stories about what went on there, what has gone on there.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you talking about going to a crawl. Good Lord of mercy. I've dealt with them.
But Stephen, you're a big, the will of the people guy. And there's a lot of people who are very vocal in Union County who believe that multi-person is better.
Well, here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. Okay, we're going right back to what I preach the whole day, all day long, is we've got these people that move to Union County. It's not from Union County or Towns County or any of these counties. And they come in here and they want to change things. Oh, we need a multi-commissioner board instead of a single commissioner board. We need to do this. We need to do this. And so then they get all their little buddies together and they sign this petition. And then they get the multi-commission board. And the local folks that's fine with having a single commissioner are stuck with it when they get old and they move out of Union County and leave us with what they passed to make it better for us who are happy to begin with where we started
they
from.
Moved to,
South Carolina.
Gated communities in South Carolina.
Yeah, where do you live at now, Pat?
Well, my hearing audio broke up there, Stephen. What were you saying?
I'm saying if you're going to move here, come in and be one of us and get along.
All I got is static.
Yeah, my daddy said I can fatten one pig just as a whole lot easier than I can 4 or 5. So I'm with him on that. And that's what happens. You get a bunch of multi-commissioners in there and everybody wants their way. And it's just, oh, man. And then you want something done, you have to wait. Oh, we're going to have a commissioners meeting next month. You'll have to come. Then you got to hire somebody to run the county while they ain't there. So there's more money. Yeah, it's just never ending. Big government, more bureaucracy. Yeah.
So, help me, because I'm lost now, Stephen. Did you move to Union County? Is this why you're complaining about it, or do you still live in Towns County, where there is a sole commissioner and no movement to?
Yes, I agree with you, Pat. Stephen is from Towns County, and I'm from Union County, and he's over there. He's one of them foreigners in Towns County interfering with our system over there.
Okay,
we got this.
He is the devil that he's talking about, being the devil. Yeah,
I've been kicked out of my county. I ain't got a county anymore. I'm a man without a county. Yeah.
Well, hey, I got a couple of cities that'd like to talk to you.
Oh man, don't even get me started on the cities. And everybody out there knows I'm right. They know I'm right.
Got to give you the key to the city, Stephen.
I can't run my mouse, but I'll be putting some of these comments up there. Come on, Packy, get up, man. Come on, do your job. Do your job.
Hey, we got Andrew Clyde calling in today, right?
Yeah, we do. We're going to talk about Department of Education. We need to get to that too, don't we?
All right, let's take a break.
Hey, we had one down there. I thought there was one other than saying good morning going down. I thought they were one down there that said, hey y'all, do you not see anything cool? Everybody's just saying good morning. Amen. There it is. Amen, Stephen. How about that? Amen. Amen, Stephen. We got another amen. Putting rhinos above God in America.
That's
the one.
Let the name calling begin.
That's the one right there.
There you
That is
go.
it. Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that.
All right, we're going to get to a break, man. We got a lot going on. We do have Andrew Clyde calling in today, and a lot going on with the Department of Education. Oh man, a lot going on with the Department of Education. Whew, boy, howdy. Chuck Schumer, he's mad. He's wanting everybody to attack everybody. Man, our whole world's going crazy. The world's going crazy, and we got Pat Malone in here to prove it.
So we're a microcosm of the world, I'm afraid, because I think there's craziness on this show.
Well, yeah, I know that. That's why we have her. That's that thing, Harry said that, well, y'all were talking about that, and he said, well, this guy, I'm sorry to say, is part of my affiliation or part of my political. He said it was his side that voted for that. I didn't know they had a DEI.
Voted for what?
I don't know what y'all was talking about. This guy, Packy was out there laughing at how dumb y'all were.
That's a big part of your problem. You don't know what we were talking about.
Stephen was
but
I was admiring your intelligence.
You didn't like it. You don't know what it's about, but you don't like it. That's Stephen.
I was praising you, Pat.
Yeah, he was.
Behind your back, I was praising you.
Yeah.
So you know.
I knew you were, Packy.
Okay.
I could feel it. It was like mind
Hey,
melt or something.
We got to take a break. All righty, we're back. Hope everybody's doing good out there on this Friday. We got Andrew Clyde supposed to be calling in here momentarily. Can't wait for that because we're going to be talking about the Department of Education. I know that's on everybody's mind. Did y'all see him sign the executive order with all the kids around signing their executive orders?
Good optics, right?
Yeah, I thought that's pretty cool. I just like to know what their executive order said.
Were they playing that Pink Floyd song in the background? We don't need education.
Yeah. So I sound like you again it.
No,
okay.
I think it's one of the departments. I don't think it ever should have been created.
Well, now he didn't do totally away with it, the way I understand.
He didn't do away with. He did away with some people, or that's
I think
really
he did change some of it.
Huh?
I got a thing here from Glenn Beck. Do you like Glenn Beck?
Sometimes.
I like Glenn.
I agree with some things that Glenn Beck talks about.
His hair and your hair look about the same.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. We're both old.
It says according to what he posted here from the Department of Education Organization Act, I think that's what this is called. Now, I might be wrong. The establishment of the Department of Education shall not increase or the authority of the federal government over education or diminish the responsibility for education, which is reserved to the state and the local school systems and other, that's a big word, instrumentalities of the state. So they're saying that they will not increase authority. The federal government will not do that. The intention of the Congress is to establish the department to protect the right. Now get this, to protect the right of the state and local government and public and private education institutes and improve the control of such governments.
He's talking about the legislation that created the Department of Education under Jimmy Carter, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're going
clearly the intent of that was not to usurp the authority from the state. But the reality of what that did is they did usurp the authority of the state.
Right. So they're going to change that back the way it's supposed to be, right?
Not unless Congress does it.
Well, that's the thing. We got Andrew Clyde coming on. He's a congressman. We'll see what he says about that.
Yeah, I don't believe Congress has the appetite to dissolve the Department of Education. And if they don't, the executive order that President Trump has initiated will be reversed by the next administration.
That's the thing, though, Pat. I'm with you on that. Here was something we agree with. I think Congress needs to get in gear, man. All this stuff and these executive orders, they need to get these things in law. Do you not believe? I mean, just like the border and all that. I mean, that needs to be done.
That's my big problem with this. We could go through all of this pain of change,
right?
And 4 years from now, people in the middle be so ticked off at Republicans that they elect a Democrat, and the day that they come in, they'll reverse all the executive orders.
Exactly.
Yeah, that to me is a real worry, because then the American people are in this whipsaw from one side to this side, and it's all pain with no gain.
Right.
Hey, that rhymed too.
You did good. Yeah. And you're sober.
I could be a rapper.
Yeah, you got the skin for
Great white rapper.
it. Yeah.
The great white candy rapper.
Yeah, you can get with Packy on Little Pasty and the Great White Rapper. Yeah, I'll be like a duo or something. Yeah, I'm with you on that. But I mean, you know, all these government officials and then we got the deep state, you know, that control more than the government does. I'd like to see, and you know, the EPA, man, the EPA. What is that other thing they got? Sounds like a nudist colony that won't let the farmers cut wood and stuff out in the forest or in the woods, as you go. What's that called? The Sierra Club or something like that? Sierra Club.
That's not a government agency.
I know, but you know, they're pretty powerful, and they go.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they hook up with the EPA and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I always thought the Sierra Club was a nudist colony. I thought it was a nudist organization. You sound like one, but you know, that's one of the things we import. We're like importing lumber. What, 25% of the lumber that we get here is imported?
You were going to say we're importing nudists. You know, you're on nudists and now you're on lumber.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you know, the Sahara Club.
Okay.
But I just think, you know, it's not good for America. I mean, we elected these officials. Now they're having to do their job. And why are the Democrats so mad? What are they? I mean, we got Bernie Sanders and AOC out doing speeches and attacking all that's going on. What's the deal with that?
They don't agree with what's being done. That's all that is.
What can you not agree with? I mean, we have got people sitting at the house doing nothing, drawing a check. We got dead people drawing Social Security. Why? I mean, why would you do this?
Here's your problem.
Okay.
If people don't agree with what you agree with, you can't understand it.
Okay, well, explain it to me.
No, I'm not going to explain it to you because you can't understand it. Even if I could come up with a good explanation, because quite frankly, I don't understand it either.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, it's like, okay, the speed limit's 55. Oh no, it's not. It's not. It's right there, 55.
The speed limit's not 55. You know that darn well.
Oh, here we go.
The speed limit is you're not looking at a ticket unless you're going over 80.
I don't know. I think, what is it? I think they give you like a 10-mile grace period or something like that.
No, they're only ticketing people because there's so much speeding going on. They're only ticketing people who are super speeders, which are 20 miles over the speed limit.
Well, you need to tell that to them guys yesterday, because I seen State Patrol up here, man. He was riding them right and left, man. I mean, I love them State Patrol cars. I just think Georgia State Patrol cars are the prettiest cars. But I like to see them on the side of the road behind somebody else's car, not behind mine. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes, I know exactly what you're saying. I agree with you. This has got to stop, Stephen. This is going to be a real boring show if we keep doing this.
I know that's right. Yeah. Schumer said, we're mobilizing in New York. We have people going to the Republican districts, going after Republicans who vote for this and forcing them to change their vote and facing consequence. I don't know what he's talking about, but they're going to face the consequences. I mean, is this guy right here?
Whoa. They're forcing them to change their votes? What are they getting?
That's
guns and holding guns to their head?
Republicans who vote. Well, I guess what they're doing, they're standing outside with their signs.
With their purple hair?
In their signs. We hate America. We won't. I don't know what, man. You tell me. I mean, you got all these people. We had JD Vance the other day, had a bunch of them attack him, or anyway.
I think that is detrimental to their cause when they do things like harass somebody with their child.
Yeah. Well, it's just like these people out with Teslas now. They're mad at Elon Musk. They're burning people's Teslas, and they don't even, I mean, they're just driving a Tesla.
The funny thing is most Tesla owners are liberals.
Yeah, I know it. They ain't no more.
They're eating their own.
They're not anymore. They're changing. They're going them Republicans. Yeah, they're going them conservatives. Yeah, my hat's on crooked. I got to look good for the camera. But yeah, that's what they're doing. But that's kind of the people we've been dealing with, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. Packy must have went to the bathroom or something. We got all kinds of comments, and I can't seem to get him up here. He turned my thing off. Dadgummit.
What's wrong in Gilmer County? Apparently they don't speak English down there.
I don't know. I hadn't heard anything about that. Have you? Yeah, I ain't heard anything about
more information on that, you know?
Yeah. Is that have they changed that down there with it? Did they do a multi-commission board and all of them changed the
I don't know
we
what it
speak
means.
Spanish now? I'd be good down there. I could talk to everyone. I'd like, yes, give me a burrito. Burrito. Yeah, I need a burrito. Yeah, I don't know. We need to get all up on that. Hey, this is, and I'm totally changing the subject because my mind does that. I get kind of strung out here. Did you watch these? They got a video of these astronauts they brought back, and they are so used to space that they're sitting there talking, and they just, they'll have a pen in their hand, they just let go of it, and it just falls to the ground.
Welcome back to gravity, huh?
Yeah.
You know what really disturbed me? That lady. Did you see how much it looked like she aged?
Yeah.
I mean, she went up there a mom and came back a grandmother.
Well, she didn't have her makeup on. That's all it was.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what happens. Yeah. They put the makeup on. They don't look nothing like that after get their makeup. Don't you think that's what it is?
No, I don't.
No, you think she aged that much?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right. But I think their bone density and stuff like that, and they ain't used to gravity and that kind of thing, and kind of that long. But now you said they were people actually longer in space than that, right?
Yeah, there's the longest person in space is over a year.
Yeah. So I just wonder how they handle. But I thought it was kind of funny. They're sitting there talking. They have a coffee cup and they just turn loose of it, and right to the ground it goes. Like, oh man,
Well, I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, that's like when you've been out on the ocean, out deep sea fishing, then you come back and get on the dock. You can't even hardly walk. You're just staggering all over the place, and everybody thinks you're drunk. So. Anyway. Hey, we got this rocket scientist in Philadelphia, man. He was this is what I call instant justice. I love instant justice.
Boy.
Do you like instant justice?
I do.
Yeah, this guy was electrocuted trying to steal copper from a transformer box. Man, you talking about a rocket scientist. Hey, there's a bunch of
See,
never mind a billion.
So I think all those warning signs on those boxes should be taken off.
Oh, the Sierra Club are a bunch of tree huggers. Yeah, there we go. Now we're getting the comments up there. Sierra Club, tree huggers. Yeah, I'm going to hug this tree and he's going to save my life. So, what else we got? Anything good, Packy?
There's Drew Vogel. That's the problem with a lot of liberals. They don't explain anything. They just make short, nasty comments, and that's the end.
Yeah.
That's what you do, Stephen.
Yeah, I do too.
Wait a minute. Isn't that what these people who are posting these comments on here about me are doing?
Yeah.
Are they liberals?
Hey, Bernie Sanders and AOC is going to make a run for the White House. Yeah. I wish they'd get on up there now. Yeah.
That'll be the day.
Yeah, I'm with you.
That'll always be the worser of two evils.
Golly, man. With a bartender and a moron. Ain't he like a billionaire or something? Ain't Bernie Sanders rich? Oh, we got a break. I think that's Andrew Clyde. So hopefully it is. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. We got him on, hopefully, and we'll talk to y'all in just a minute. All righty, folks. We're coming to you sideways in here, and we have got Congressman Andrew Clyde. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Oh, I'm just doing wonderful on this Friday.
Yeah, man, we got a lot going on. When are we going to get rid of all this leftist lawfare judges that keep screwing everything up for us?
Well, I tell you what, and what's really incredibly concerning to me is the fact that we have the Chief Justice John Roberts come out in a tweet literally and saying, or in a statement saying, hey, if you don't agree with the decision, the proper way to disagree is to appeal it to a higher court. And I'm like, excuse me, Chief Justice Roberts, but no. The founding fathers gave Congress the Article 1 authority of impeachment. When a judge, if the judge is following the law and simply makes a decision we don't agree with, that's one thing. But this is completely different. This is truly lawfare.
Mm-hmm.
This is making a decision, striking the legitimate Article 2 authority of the President of the United States. Okay, so this is not based on a law, all right, or the Constitution that the President is violating. This is based on their radical left-wing opinion, all right, not based in law. And therefore, there's no constitutional argument that the judge uses here. They're simply trying to eliminate the president's authority. They're trying to change the election, the outcome of the election. They're trying to take away the authority of the people when they said, we want Donald Trump and we want the America First agenda. These judges are using lawfare to stop that. Therefore, the founding fathers gave Congress the right and the authority to impeach. And over the lifetime of our country, there have been numerous judges impeached by Congress. That is not the decision of the Chief Justice. In fact, it's not the decision of any judge. This is for Congress to. This is the way that Congress will judge the judges. That's the whole point.
Well, let me ask something. You got these judges that throw out these their opinion, not the law. Is there not something we can do about that? Like, okay, well, you keep missing this. You need to go. We have got to get rid of you. You're not a judge. I mean, there's something we can do.
That is impeachment. That is now. There are some other things that we can do. All right, that are not as strong as impeachment. For example, these are district court judges. All right, like in Georgia, we've got 3 districts: Southern, Middle, and North. All right, but these judges, when they make a decision, they're saying that this decision applies nationwide, not just in their districts.
Right.
Okay, so we can say, all right, we can pass a law that says, all right, these judges, whatever decision you make is limited to your district and your district only. And then when you go to the appellate level, all right, the appellate level is like, I believe we're in the 11th Circuit. You have multiple states and multiple districts within one appellate level. And then after that, after the appellate level gets to look at it and makes the decision, then you go to the Supreme Court. And then it would be the Supreme Court that has only the Supreme Court that has the ability to make a decision for the entire country. So these judges are truly exceeding their district authority when they say this injunction applies nationwide. So that's one thing we can do.
Congressman, why don't we do that?
Well, that's actually being considered right now. In my opinion, because it's not written down, the judges are taking the latitude to say this is a nationwide decision. So in my opinion, they're immediately overreaching their authority because they're district judges. They're not Supreme Court judges.
Well,
so why aren't we impeaching them?
We are. That's why I'm leading articles of impeachment against Judge John McConnell Jr. That's why Eli Crane, from Arizona. That's why Andy Ogles from Tennessee. That's why Lauren Boebert. That's why numerous other members of Congress are leading articles of impeachment.
So articles have been filed on those people, but there's no action yet.
They've been filed.
Other than the first step.
Correct. That's correct. It's first step.
Okay.
Just remember, Congress tends to move slowly. All right. We do move, and articles, as these judges come out and make these radical left-wing decisions that are not based on constitutional law, but are based basically on what they want. They want to stop the president from exercising his legitimate Article 2 authority. Remember, in Article 2 of the Constitution, the very first line of Article 2, it says executive power shall, not may, but shall be vested in a president of the United States, period. That's it. That's where Article 2 power is. Now, then it goes on to say how the president is elected. It goes on to say that he's the commander-in-chief of the United States military. I mean, they're taking away his authority to be commander-in-chief of the United States military.
But Congressman, they're not challenging the validity of Article 2. They're saying that you didn't do it the right way.
Well, but they don't have. But okay, then you tell me in Article 2, all right, what gives them the right to say you didn't do it the right way? Because that sentence I gave you, that's Article 2.
I realize that, but they're not I don't believe they're attacking the presidential power that's vested in Article 2. I think they're saying there is a legal process to do this through the rest of the Constitution that you need to follow.
Well, except for one thing, all right?
Okay.
The founding fathers gave Congress the power of impeachment, all right? They didn't give it to the judges.
Yeah.
They didn't give it to the Supreme Court. They gave it only to Congress. So therefore, we in Congress are the ones who judge the judges. It is our authority to say, are you simply making a decision based on, some law or some constitutional authority, or are you not? In this case, there's no, they cannot show that they're stopping a presidential executive order to implement the law. Okay. They're not doing that based on some wording in the Constitution. They're doing it based on their beliefs. They're trying to overturn an election. The president said when he was running for office for a second term that what he would do, and he is following through with exactly what he said he would do. And the power of the people elected him.
But
So
we don't know that that's a fact. We may believe that that's a fact, but until we get them to testify in an impeachment trial as to the basis of their legal judgment, we don't know that.
Well, they don't have to testify in their impeachment trial. Not at all.
Well, I know they don't have to, but they have an opportunity to.
Sure, absolutely, they can, right? But it's pretty evident from what they have been doing right now.
Right.
Okay.
Have any of these rulings been the final ruling? Most of these are stays to prevent the process from going forward, aren't they?
And that in and of itself, right there, Pat, that is a violation of Article 2.
Yeah.
Because this is the thing. The president has a limited amount of time. He has 4 years. So every time they can make a stay of what he has done, that is denying the American people their right to have a president who does what they want him to do. Isn't
that the classic example of checks and balances?
No, that's not. That is not the classic example of checks and balances.
Wow.
They are exceeding their authority. And remember, it's up to Congress to judge that. It's not up to judges. That's the article. That's the authority of impeachment. It's the founding fathers gave Congress that authority. They did not give any judge that authority. It's in the Constitution.
Andrew, I'm gonna jump in here a minute because you can argue with Pat all day long. He still don't see the light. I'm just telling you. But most of us up here where we're at, we behind you 100%. Yeah, I didn't vote for no dang judge. And
wait a minute. I'm not against the congressman.
Yeah, I didn't vote for no judge. I've been in front of 2 or 3 of them, and I don't much care for them, to be honest with you. We got questions in capital letters come through here. Ask him, okay, this is from a guy named Rebel Boy. He said, ask him when all these executive orders are going to be turned into law.
Well, that is the aim of Congress, because as you have seen, after President Trump's first term, what President Biden did was he immediately reversed what President Trump did within a couple of months, some of them on the very first day.
Right.
All right. And so now the aim of Congress is to take these executive orders and to codify them. And we're going to be doing that, all right, over the next number of months. We have, in my opinion, about 18 months to really codify into law what President Trump is doing by executive order. We can do that with only Republican votes through a process called budget reconciliation. But what the president has signed into executive order has to have a budget impact for us to use budget reconciliation. We have the Senate filibuster to overcome the 60 vote threshold when we only have 53 Republicans and we need 7 Democrats. So we will be working through that process to codify into law what President Trump has written into executive order.
Now you're saying that Congress and everybody moves slow. I mean, how can we make this go a little faster? I mean, I'd like to see this stuff chiseled in stone especially the border. I mean,
I would too. I would like it to move a whole lot faster.
Mm-hmm.
And our president is moving, no one expected this kind of action this quickly, but I love it. I'm all for it. And, unfortunately we have we have a 3-seat majority right now, I guess.
Right.
We had 2 Democrats pass away this month. In fact, so that increased our majority. On April 2nd or April 3rd, there will be a election in Florida for the 2 missing Republican seats right now. So that'll probably put us at 5,
mm-hmm.
A majority of 5, until the Democrat seats get filled. And that will probably be 4, maybe 5 months.
Right.
But so we'll have that advantage during the springtime. But that's that's what we're dealing with. We got to make sure that these much more moderate Republicans, like the ones from New York and a few from California, and ones that help us truly maintain the majority, we've got to make sure they're on board too. And that's going to be up to the president, I think, though, to use his persuasive power.
Well, I think all these liberals out here burning all them folks' Teslas is going to help you, because we know 90% of the people driving Teslas are liberals. So I think they're swapping over when they go out in the parking lot and they see their car keyed. So maybe that'll help. Hey, the Department of Education, you want to touch on that just a little bit? They signed the executive order on that?
Oh, absolutely. President Trump did sign an executive order on that, and he has right to do it, returning education to parents and communities. That was a beautiful executive order, and the entire point of that is to take the education department at the federal level, which has no teachers in it whatsoever, and take that money and send that to the states where education belongs. Remember, the states created the federal government via the Constitution and ceded to the federal government certain authorities, and none of those authorities deal with education. So having a Department of Education is nowhere in the Constitution. That is not a federal authority. So all of that needs to go back to the states where it is supposed to reside. The 10th Amendment says anything that is not ceded to the federal government is reserved unto the states or to the people. And that is an authority, that the right to educate, right? That is authority that the states maintain or the people maintain. So this needs to go back to local control, total local control. Because if you look at what the Department of Education has done over the last, what has it been now, 50 years or so?
Right.
They have spent over $3 trillion with virtually nothing to show for it. The per pupil spending has increased by more than 245%, with virtually no measurable improvement in student achievement. I mean, that is a disgrace.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yep.
So it's time to get the Federal Department of Education, which doesn't teach a solitary student, and get them out of the middle and send the money directly to the states. So the states and the counties, the local school boards, and the parents, if they choose to homeschool or if they choose to private school or whatever, it puts it in the parents, back in the parents' hands, the authority of teaching their children where it should always reside.
I'm with you on that. One more thing before we go. You got Chuck Schumer out here saying, you're going to change your vote or face the consequence. AOC out here attacking and all that. Can there not be something? Is that not illegal to, I don't know, try to get people to ride or?
It is truly an example of Trump derangement syndrome.
Right.
He has broken the Democrats. They are flailing. They do not have a coherent message. He is hitting them so hard and so fast that by the time that they try and get a message on one thing that he's doing, he has done something else. All right. And that distracts their attention. It's a beautiful thing to see, because what the president is doing is exactly what he promised he would do. Promises made, promises kept. And I've never had so much fun in my life. When it comes to let's put it in the last 4 years as being a representative. This has been a great time for Republicans, but not just for Republicans, for our nation, because we are taking it back to the founding principles of our founding fathers, to the Constitution, to what the Constitution actually says, not what activist judges think the Constitution says or what they want it to say. It is not a living document.
There you go. Hey, Pat, did you hear what he just said? Did you hear that, Pat?
I did. I heard every word of
it. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, son.
I'm mulling that over.
We love you, Pat. We love you.
I know you do, Congressman.
Bless his heart. Bless his heart. Hey, we always appreciate you, man. We appreciate you very much.
Well,
we got to get to a break and get back to
all right.
All right,
Great
man.
to be on WJRB. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, you take care. All righty, we're back. Bob M. I'm ready for my education tax refund. I'm with you. Since there's no education department, I want my money back. I'm with him on that. You gonna argue that, Pat?
You're not going to get any money back.
Oh, you're not.
The money's going to be given to the states in block grants. That's what he's talking about.
Bob, you're out. Bub, you're out. I'm with you. I want my money back.
Don't be expecting a check. It's not in the mail.
I got this quote here I come up with. I didn't come up with. I read this thing on X or somewhere, and it's talking about Elon Musk. And this is about the way it's going with Elon Musk. Okay, so you own a store, your store gets robbed. Elon looks at the video footage of the robbery and tells you who did it. Now you want to arrest Elon. Is that not pretty much summing up the way it's going? It's like, hey, these folks are robbing you, and we hate you, Elon. We hate you.
Whatever. Have your fantasy for the weekend. We'll talk more tomorrow on Monday.
Hey, Georgia Mountain Grading. You need some grading done, give them a call. We appreciate everybody coming on here with the comments and all that. Keep us going on that. Andrew Clyde, and we'll be back Monday morning bright and early. Pat, have a good weekend, man.
You do the same, man.
All right.